Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 48 of the 9 to 5 Fitness Podcast. We've got a really big one today and an important one, don't we, Gab?
Why is that, mate?
Well, it's very relevant. Something's going to happen this week. It's going to be out before New Year's Eve, so we want to give people a bit of a survival tip.
Hang on. You're so excited. You forgot to ask me how to sleep. You're a bit out of practice.
The most important part of the podcast. How are you and how did you sleep?
I slept okay. I had a few drinks last night.
Ooh.
You know, during this festive season, been going a bit too ham with that. Slept like a baby. What about yourself?
Like a baby. Well, I rolled in last night and you'd had a couple of drinks and you were sitting on the couch here and I almost joined you, but I said, no, not tonight for me. But I'm well, slept really well. Keen to get into this one.
Yeah, me too, mate.
Let's get into it. What's been happening lately? Christmas.
Yeah, so there is this old Christmas thing. I don't know, every year I reckon it just gets a little bit less magical. You know, ever since you find out a few secrets about Santa and stuff like that, yep. I reckon it just gets a tad less magical every year. Totally
agree. I think there's as you get older, like there's a different kind of spin on it. Like you're more excited to see maybe like see family. Like I was excited to kind of sink piss and, you know, just kind of enjoy all the food.
I remember when I was a kid, my favorite part about Christmas, it was like the best day of the year because mum and dad would have bought me the newest Lego set that I was so eager, and I'd spend the whole morning building it and then go off to the family house. And it was the most magical day ever for me. And I reckon it stopped being like that at a certain age and, you know, it hit me like a brick wall, mate.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I can't remember what age it was, maybe 15, 16. It's just like, maybe even 18. It's like, this ain't it, Chief, anymore. Like, it's not good.
Yeah, well, you'll start forming into kind of like appreciating it for different reasons.
Exactly.
But yeah.
I think one of my favourite things about Christmas is actually giving people gifts. I really, you know, they talk about love languages and things like that. I think my gifts is my favourite, and it's not receiving, it's actually giving.
You're a giver.
Yep, I got you a gift, made me feel very good.
Yep, and getting you a gift made me feel good.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're on the same wavelength with the love language, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, mate, when you have a girlfriend, they make you do all those sorts of things, like the love language quizzes and all that.
Yeah, you've been through a couple, have you?
No.
Love language quizzes.
Like that. Yeah. Not my first rodeo, mate.
Good. And did you eat heaps on Christmas Day?
Yeah, actually, I don't think I ate. We went to a winery. I don't think I ate.
Pretty rogue by your fam, to be honest.
Yeah, it's the first time we've done that. There was a few reasons why, but yeah, we won't get into that. And I definitely put away a fair share. Had my fair share of drinks, but I think it was later in the day, like something else where I put a few calories away. What about you?
Yeah, much the same. Well, didn't go to a winery, just had Christmas up at the farm. A couple of people came over. Lovely. Dad did a good ham, did a good turkey, a couple of beers, a few glasses of champagne, and was kind of well fed and done by 3 p.m.
And the diets are completely out the window, aren't they?
Diets are, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're done. I was going to try and patch it up there, but no, they're...
Yeah, I've lost every single muscle that I actually own. Every single ab has disappeared.
Well, that's the thing. I'd say I'm not losing necessarily muscle. It's just like I'm putting on fat.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm eating enough to maintain.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We'll get it back. I'm not too worried. I'm really me personally, actively giving myself this week to kind of really blow out and enjoy the drinks, enjoy the food, and you know, then we'll pick it up next week.
I think every year this is like the 1 week I'll just take off. You know, cricket yesterday, just ate like pure shit there.
Yep.
The beers for breakfast type setup.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was just absolutely ridiculous. I did want to ask you though, what was your favourite gift you received?
Oh, geez, putting me on the spot here. Favourite gift I received, Mum got me these just a couple of things of sunscreen. I forgot the name of it. It's a special brand.
Yeah.
Anyway, like really good sunscreen. I need that this summer, so I'd say that was my favourite gift. They are building like a whole property which is kind of directed around horses, so that's kind of the main gift. So obviously, very appreciative of that.
Yep.
What about yourself?
Yeah, well. Yeah, again, putting me on the spot. I really did like your gift. I thought it was very thoughtful. Some cool things in there.
Yep.
One of my favorites was the Lululemon mask. I wish we were sponsored by Lululemon, but you know, it's this very premium type fabric on the face.
Yep.
The most interesting one was my brother giving gifts. Now he did what was called Seb's virtual gift giving.
Okay.
And so the morning of Christmas, he
Ordered.
asked everyone what their emails were, and he emailed them all vouchers. So he sent me an ASOS voucher, which is good. But it's, very no effort. You just bought it, emailed it to you. There you go.
Get it done, tick the box, move on.
So I think I got some other good gifts, but yeah.
It's hard when you put on the spot, of course. And another favourite is the one you got me, which is some fantastic Tom Ford aftershave. It smells incredible, and you surprised me.
Mate, I was the only bloke in Mecca. I loved it. I really take those opportunities with a full fist like that.
Yeah, you do.
I'm the only man here, and I am not afraid to ask the shop assistant to spray every single different fragrance to know which is the best one.
Make it work.
And it's one of the first years not having a girlfriend during Christmas, and so I was looking through these fancy. You walk past Victoria's Secret, all them, and you're like, oh, geez, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
I suppose that thing of not having a girlfriend in Christmas, it halves your work because you don't go to 2 Christmases. I feel like when you have a girlfriend, that you kind of do something together in the morning and maybe something together again later in the arvo.
Yeah.
It halves the work.
You see, I view it differently. I'm a real family man. I love everything about family. If it's a good family, that is. And I relish the opportunity to have a chat to her parents, her extended family. So I do really enjoy that type of thing.
Well, not this year, mate.
Yeah, this year was hit you like a brick wall.
Good. Now, it's kind of this week we're letting our hair down. We're not doing too much running or anything like that. But I did just want to say, guys, you've got to start picking up your footy running. If you're playing footy this year, you got to start now. Even though you're going to have a blowout on for New Year's, time to get going. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Yeah,
just slowly tick away to keep it on the back burner.
Otherwise, you'll hate yourself next week. So just a reminder to everyone to get on the jog. If you are needing a hand with jogging or running, we've got some elite programs on the website. Check them out.
Running program, only $10, crafted by yours truly.
You literally get 2 programs the price one, but I don't want to plug it for too long. Speaking of plugging, Manscaped.
Yep, Manscaped. These are some really great utensils here.
Yep.
Not too choppy, You shave your family jewels. Do you like them, mate?
I like them. Do you like them?
I do like them. These ones, you use them for everywhere, really. What do you use it for?
Yeah, around me nuts, mainly, is the main...
I also picked up the nail clipper set.
Yep.
These are just absolutely ace. They come in a little magnetic kit like that. You got your nail clippers, everything like that. It is just awesome. You chuck it in your bag, and I think it's just every bloke needs one of these sets. If you do want to support us, you can head to the Manscaped website, use code NTF. It'll give you 20% off and free shipping. You'll support your boys and get your gear for a bit cheaper. So yeah, we'd really appreciate it.
You're getting better at that every single week, mate.
More succinct, just get it in there.
No, you're doing really well.
Did you enjoy the cricket?
I did enjoy the cricket, of course, yeah. So we both went to the cricket. I went day 1 of Boxing Day. You went day 2.
Yeah, I'm going day 4.
All done, mate. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. A bit of a spectacle. I'm going to make sure I do that pretty much every year now. And we both said we're going to go to more footy games because of it.
It made me, it's like, this is actually so good. Like, I don't know, it's good watching it on the TV is good, but it was the first time in a while I'd been to like a live sporting event. And the cricket definitely is unique, a test match, because you're there for the whole day. It's like not necessarily intense vibes like a footy game the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, for example, in that last hour of day 2, like, I was falling asleep, like, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then as soon as like you hear that, and Australia's fast-paced bowlers are going at them for an hour, it's just...
Well, Starkey almost got a hat trick.
Oh, mate, that was unreal. I was so glad I got to see that.
It's a long day. It's a long day of marinating in the sun, drinking beers, and just kind of lapping it in. But there's something nice about that.
Did you feel the same way? Like, you're so far away, you can't see... The only way you can tell it's a wicket is when the team starts celebrating.
Yeah, when they run in.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you can't even see the ball. Like when they hit a boundary, it's like, oh, everyone else is cheering. Yeah, boundary. How good.
I reckon it's amazing when you're actually at the game watching how fast they bowl the ball.
Oh, mate.
How do you face that?
There was that guy, Marcus Wood. I think he was the quickest one of the England bowlers. And, mate, he was bowling 150 Ks every single ball. It's like, mate, I would be shitting myself.
And he goes so hard. I think he's the one that falls over, isn't he? He kept falling over.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's one of the shorter quicks, but yeah.
Oh, really interesting. No, it was pretty amazing. I think one of the lowlights for me personally at the cricket was the sculling of the beers and people not being allowed to do that. It's so un-Australian.
What was up with that?
Well, so I was in a bay, and I'd say 6 people out of my bay got kicked out. They must have been told to just like hone in on it.
Because there was that bloke from Adelaide, the Adelaide test. Did you see that video that went viral? That guy who like kept sculling beers. So maybe all the seckies were told now, if anyone's been a larrikin like that, kick him out.
Well, it wasn't just Secchies in my bay. It was cops as well.
Yeah.
I'd say 3 guys went home in a divvy van.
But that's...
Over sculling a beer.
People do that every year, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I think so.
Have they always been kicked out for that? Or?
I don't think so. But I think it started in Adelaide. I'm not too sure like what...
Like, I feel like people were just doing to get kicked out now as well. Like, I saw it so often. Like,
bit of a laugh.
I don't know. I think someone even... We went to a bar in Richmond after, and someone showed me a video of Simo getting kicked out for doing it.
The SMB legacy.
Did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah, he got done. Same thing. I reckon it's just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, who can judge how fast you drink a beer?
How... Are you going to tell me you're getting kicked out from a cricket game? You've probably paid $100 for a ticket for drinking a mid-strength a bit too quickly.
You know the best part is ex-Prime Minister Bob Hawke used to scull beers at the cricket.
Oh, man.
Like, that was his big thing. He'd scull. There's videos of him sculling beers at the cricket.
That's absolutely sacrilegious in my opinion.
So how can you... Mate, double standards. And what about Scotty Boland?
Oh, yeah, that was legendary. Yeah, I saw him... one of his overs where he got 2 wickets in one over.
Yeah.
And
6 for 7 on your debut. That's incredible. So
yeah, it's because Australia have so many good quick bowlers now. It's going to be interesting how, because they had like I think Jai Richardson and another guy.
He's a jet.
Like there's too many options.
Yep.
And the thing is, England is so embarrassingly bad. Like it's not even a good game to watch anymore.
No, it was pretty average.
Yeah,
the whole game was average.
It's ridiculous.
Now, should we get into the crux of this conversation,
100%.
which is kind of New Year's Eve, and like we just want to do a bit of survival kit. We know we got some younger ones listening. Maybe this is your first New Year's where you're drinking, or the first New Year's you're 18, and you want a little bit of a helping hand.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a starter pack or a survival kit is very necessary for a lot of us.
What are we doing?
I don't know. It's a funny year, isn't it? A lot of people are here nor there, separate things, and no one's really got concrete plans, and everyone's scared about COVID and do I go to a big event? Do I do New Year's Day? Do I do New Year's Eve? You know, a lot of people in separate directions. You know, sometimes we'd have girlfriends and they'd sort out all the plans, or you do something just with them. So it is an interesting year, but what did we end up deciding, mate?
We're doing Beyond the City in the city for New Year's Eve.
Unless it gets cancelled, touch wood.
Unless it it can't get cancelled now.
Sure. I remember last New Year's when they were like, everyone had their house parties planned, and then they were like, last minute on the day, no more than 15. And mate, I was so stressed out because I was like, oh, can my girlfriend come? Can this come? Oh, no.
Terrifying. You managed to do it in the end though, so good on you. But we're going to BTC. Hopefully we'll see you guys there if you're going to be there. I wish we were on that influencer pack thing where we just get to upload a few videos and get it for free, but we paid full price.
Yeah, paid through the bloody
nose,
So,
you know what? Buy us a beer if you like our content and you're there.
I'm pretty sure the guy who runs BT, all those festivals, he liked some of my posts sometimes. So, mate, if you could hook it up, that'd be absolutely unreal.
Any danger. But let's get into the survival kit kind of behind it. Now, I put the first dot point down here for it. Don't expect it to be the best night of your life. I reckon that's the number one demise of any New Year's / New Year's Eve or any night out, really. Often your best nights out are just something at random, like you get home from work, it's like, I'd go out for a beer with your mate, and then next minute you're at the strippers at 7 a.m.
I can tell you, my personal best nights have all been completely unplanned and spontaneous. I think, when you're predicting that this night is going to be a movie, it probably is not going to be a movie.
It's not going to be a movie. I'm really going with the expectation to have a couple of beers with some mates, watch some lovely live music, and,
Mate, you know what? Now that you've said that, I'm going in with the expectation that this is going to be absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, nice.
I'm going to have the worst time of my life.
It's going to be the worst
I
night
hate
ever.
the people I'm going with. I hate the music.
Yep.
I'm just going to hate everyone around me.
Yeah, you're going to be a misery guts.
Yeah.
So that's maybe that's a bit extreme, but close to that, because don't go in thinking it's going to be the best night of your life. I reckon.
Set the expectations low. I reckon.
Set the tone.
Yeah,
is what we say. What else do we have?
I think the next one you've written down on this little starter pack is look after your mates. What does that mean?
Yeah, well, multiple ways you can look after your mates. Firstly, just make sure they're going all right. If you're drinking a lot of alcohol, then bad things can happen. So, I'd say hydration is number one.
Yeah. So my little tip when I go for a big drinking kind of expedition, I have 2 of the Hydrolyte tablets beforehand, 2 when I get home, 2 the morning after. Hangover. Forgot her name. Haven't seen her in a while.
Who is Hangover?
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it. Well, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So just make sure you're pacing yourself. And it all depends what you're doing. I mean, like we're doing a nighttime thing, so New Year's Eve, and we're not doing anything New Year's Day. It's a bit too large. But
yeah, so the marathon, not a sprint thing. Like we'll probably get started, midday type thing, carry through to late night type thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to bed at 10 p.m, so I probably will give the midnight crossover into the new year a bit of a miss.
Yeah.
I'll probably head home before then.
You're not one for the countdown.
No, I never have been.
Good man.
So, like, there are these new drinks that have come out, the new 196s. They're 2.5 standards in 350 mils. We're not sponsored, but we bloody well should be. Mate, I had 2 of these things last night.
You were gone.
After some beers at the cricket. Mate, I did not know what hit me. And, like, I'm not really a lightweight. Like, I'm bloody heavyweight, mate. I'll drink you under the table, mate.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah, and these absolutely sent me. So, I will be trying to avoid having too many of those type of drinks.
Oh, will you be having any?
Well, I've just bought the whole bloody store worked in the fridge there.
Fair enough. Yeah, true. Good luck. Yeah, well, I'll be making sure you're going easy because it's me looking after you.
Yeah.
The other thing is we don't have our heads in the sand. Like, look, if you're around people who are doing drugs and stuff, also you need to look after them. It's not really something that we are around much, but I know at our age people certainly are, and hydration, and don't be afraid to take anyone to a medic tent.
Particularly at festivals, there are going to be like all these mystery pills coming out. I remember when we were at like Falls and stuff, there were like these orange pills that everyone was like, do not like stay away at all costs.
We got a text message for it. Do you remember that?
Dude, that was crazy.
It was hectic to everyone's phones. You got a text message saying don't take orange pills.
And it's like, I don't know what the hell was in this stuff, maybe like some tren or something like that, but they were just, people were dying left, right and center. It was like, if you see these orange pills, do not have them. So I presume at some of these festivals there will be something similar to that, these new pill that, so just be careful, guys. We're not, as we say, people do drugs, but and we're not recommending you do them by any means, but like it's just a fact of life, and try your best to do it responsibly.
Yeah, exactly. I'd say number one, like a big killer at festivals is people thinking they can't take their friends to the medic tent because they're going to get in trouble for having drugs. Mate, you will not get in any trouble whatsoever, I guarantee it. Just take your friend to the medic tent and look after them.
100%. That cannot be further from the truth. They're not the cops. They're not the ones who want 100%. To like... They're like the ones... They're saving lives, essentially.
Yep, they're your friends. So that's number, I think, tip 3 for the survival is take your friends to the medic tent if they need it. What's the next one?
Number 4 is one for our mate Foti. For the OGs, you remember it? The Mafia man. Fighting is not cool.
He wanted to be, he was throwing haymakers. Boys aren't looking, mate.
A couple of Ben Stokes here.
Yeah, Stokes, he's outside the pub. So, don't do that. You're a fucking dickhead if you're fighting. So don't be that guy or that girl. And king hitting isn't cool, or coward punching.
Yeah, coward punching. Seriously, guys, no violence. I think I'm a big believer in using your words to do your fighting. Yeah. Like, don't be physically fighting. I'm not much of a fighter. I got these muscles. They're just for show.
I won my last fight by 50 meters.
That's what I'll say. I think. I don't know where it stems from. Just maybe guys thinking, egos and thinking I'm better than you, or I'll kill you, or whatever. It's unnecessary.
It's like that kind of, I don't know, just like you can tell the type that wants to fight all the time. Like they are so insecure. They're terrified of their own shadow.
Constantly got something to prove.
They have a few Bundy, rum
Probably
and
the ones revving their engine down Chapel Street to show everyone how big their penis is.
Exactly right. So don't be that guy. And if you come across that guy, just leave him. Just walk away, mate.
Yeah. What else was I going to say about fighting? I don't know. I was going to say something, but it was, it's... I kind of forgot about it now.
That's good for the podcast.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's a bit awkward.
Gab forgot. We'll just sit here until he remembers. I forgot.
Yeah, hang on guys. Can you just sit with me?
Well, you keep thinking, but the next one is... For me, for anyone, don't rely on a New Year's Eve kiss or a New Year's kiss to have a good time. You're going to go home pretty unhappy, mate.
Mate, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself. I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself this year.
I wrote this one for you.
It's been 4 years now. I've had 4 different New Year's kisses.
Oh, mate, that's not a good track record.
Is it?
I don't know.
Isn't it good?
Nah, it's good. I like it. I mean, depends what you're after.
Yeah. So if I don't get one this year, we will. I mean,
So what he's saying is if you have any friends or you are
any
listening?
attractive friends, attractive sisters,
Females, yeah.
around the ages of like 22.
Yep.
And they're going to be on the city. Chuck us a message. Maybe we'll be able to plan it
Link.
out. I have got a hilarious story, which I'll tell after this starter kit about a New Year's kiss from a previous year.
I reckon you've already told on the podcast, but we'll go again.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
Actually, I've never told this one.
Really?
I've told you, but yeah.
Yeah, good from you. So yeah, don't rely on a New Year's kiss to have a good night. That's a way to have a shit night because there's often not enough to go around, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, which one did you say? We're on the last one, are we?
Yeah, we're on the last one.
All right, sorry, I'm a bit scattered, guys.
Yeah, no, you're right. So yeah, but the kissing thing, I think, what's some tips, Gab, to try and get a kiss? We got young Johnny listening to us. He's 18. He's going, well, I'm going to BTC. What do I, and I don't know any girls that are going, do I go up and introduce myself? Do I...
Yeah, be good looking.
What do I do?
You have a bit of swag about you. Wear like a snapback or something.
Yeah. Start fighting.
Yeah, start fighting because girls will love that.
Chicks love that, mate.
Yeah. What do you do? Fuck.
I feel like it's dependent on the situation, but maybe go and like have a bit of a dance with them if there's good music on, you know, in that area.
I don't reckon go up to them and say, "Do you want to be my New Year's kiss?" Because then you're really limiting your chances. Then you'll only get like the desperate people coming after you, which is a good segue, a self segue into my story here. Okay. So we were at BTV. Me and the boys were watching Rufus's set to carry us into midnight. The vibes were absolutely unreal. You know, all the boys were there. Just like, you know, lads, boys loving each other type setup.
Yep.
I was just vibing. I think maybe I had my top off or something like that. I can't remember. You'd never see Gab with his top off at a festival, surely not.
You would.
Yeah. Stereosonic, bro. No, it's BTV, Rufus, vibes were immaculate. Anyway, this girl comes up to me and she says, "Do you want to be my New Year's kiss?" or something. I think we had a bit of chat and then she was like, "Do you want to be my New Year's kiss?" And, you know, she wasn't bad, but I wasn't really, I thought, you know, I haven't really scouted out my options here, so to speak. So I said, yeah, maybe, you know, could be on.
Well, you don't have to give her an answer.
I think you want to have like a bit of a fallback option. Sorry, this sounds terrible, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Then the girl of my dreams is in front of me.
Oh no,
oh mate, could not imagine it.
What do you do?
You know, this could be a tip for anyone else trying to kind of
in this situation.
She was very attractive. I was, you know, quite keen on, you know, not going with the previous option, but trying to get this option essentially.
Right. So yeah.
Do you understand?
I mean, it's eggs in one basket, isn't it? Because what if that option says no?
Yeah, exactly right. And she's saying you've just gotten rejected there, and she's like, "Hang on a sec, no, I'm not going to be your second best option."
Courageous.
Exactly. So it was courageous. Anyway, she kind of gets a little bit closer. I like start chatting to her. Not really, just a few words were exchanged. Anyway, I could see she was cold. She was freezing.
Oh, segue.
So I gave her my jumper, and she's like, "No, it's all good." And I'm like, "No, please take it." It was a fucking mint jumper as well, like this vintage Nike one. It was sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, she, you know, and then
she's warm.
You know, I help her put her on. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
I'm dancing with her. It slowly gets a bit more. Blah blah blah. We end up. I spin her around, and she comes and kisses me. Blah blah blah. And you know, I got the boys behind me. We're vibing a bloody like underwater or something through to midnight. You know, kissing this chick. Meanwhile, the chick to the side of me seeing that this has happened.
Tears.
Mate, she's swearing. She's
filthy.
She thought I'd signed a contract or something. Mate, she was so annoyed. And she was mouthing off to all my mates saying, "This fucking dickhead."
Oh, no.
It's like, love, I didn't bloody say I was going to marry you. I didn't say anything like that.
She's already looking at the house you're going to buy.
Mate, it was unbelievable. I didn't know her anything. And anyway, we were having a great time here. Lads were behind me. One of the best moments of my life, I reckon.
I love that she was swearing.
Mate, my mates were like, she was going off at you. I couldn't even hear a thing. My head was over here. But
she went feral.
Yeah.
She went feral on you.
Bullet dodged.
Bullet dodged. That's good. And so you would have been, you know, tucked up in bed relatively early then.
Yeah, exactly.
Good night. Well, that leads me into the next point, which is nothing good happens after 2 a.m.
Yeah.
So go home and tuck yourself in, King, because you bloody deserve it.
I don't reckon anything. Oh, a few things, but it's very rare that something good does happen after 2 a.m. I'd say.
Yeah, I'll stretch to 3 a.m., but that's allowing travel time home. I just reckon if you want to start the year off well, which I haven't done the last 7 years, I'm going to try it this year though, is get home before 2 a.m.
10:59 p.m, mate.
Oh, mate, I'm not seeing a fucking countdown. Bugger that.
What do you reckon your best New Year's Eve has been?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Falls for me was pretty good. We were together that year.
Yeah, that was a great one. Oh, that was a fantastic year. Yeah. But like the night of, like New Year's Eve was shit.
Yeah, for me it was good. But for you it was good.
Yeah, I had a fucking
We both had girlfriends at the time, so it was easier.
Yeah. And but my best ever was last year by far, which I tried to get you along to, but Mr. Cool over here didn't come.
Yeah, sorry.
Nah. And I just had a farm party, and it was like honestly probably one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, my news was shit that year, so maybe I should have come along to yours.
Yeah, but that's all right. We're doing it together this year. So what's your best? BTV?
BTV, I'd have to say. Falls was pretty good as well. What other ones were there? Honestly, I think those were the two most memorable. Last year's one was pretty average, I'd say.
Going to any festival like that, I feel like you're just locking in kind of a good time. Like it's, you pay your money.
Yeah. There's
a good vibe.
You're usually going to have one of the best acts carry you over to midnight as well. So Catfish and the Bottlemen that time.
That was just...
that was like our favourite band at the time, and that was so good.
I left halfway through. That's how my night was going.
Yours was shit ass, whereas I was, absolutely unreal.
Yeah. You were there with Van singing.
Yeah, mate.
You were on stage.
I was like front row with the Mrs. I was like,
she's loving it.
She's loving it. I'm loving it. We're all loving it. Yeah, she didn't even like the music, mate. No, she loved it. Magical. Never spoken to her since, but enjoy it while it lasts, mate, because you'll end up blocking each other one day.
That's so grim. That's so grim. But yeah, so there you go. That's kind of like our survival kit. But I just kind of wanted to put an emphasis on, especially those first couple of points of like really look after your mates and like don't be afraid to take anyone to the medic tent if you're at a festival. Yeah. And if you're drinking all day, have a few waters and you should be right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So we got a fat mailbag though.
Let's get into it, mate.
We have heaps of questions.
First one's a bit of starts off with a bang.
First one does start off with a bang, but I've got a lot to chat about it. What's he say?
Well, mate, it's got a swear word in it. Can you say it? Because you're the one who wrote it down.
So tips for getting rid of a stiffy. I don't see a swear word in there.
Stiffy's a bit of a swear word.
Stiffy. So
you get in trouble in class if you said that.
Getting rid of a little, your peck is up and about. I reckon my go-to when I was younger in class and stuff was flexing a quad.
Ooh.
See, I found if you flex a quad, then you're able to kind of shift the blood flow elsewhere because it's all about blood flow at this point. Okay.
Yeah. You see, in class, my go-to was tuck it up under your belt. Yeah. And from there, it's less obvious.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not well endowed enough, but...
I did that a few times. Yeah. But yeah, if you want if you need to get rid of it, like I reckon flexing the quad is something I've done a lot. Yeah.
Okay. That's
a good quad flex. You can even go both for extra emergency.
Maybe I'd be good at that.
So that's number one tip. What about? Do you have any other tips?
I've heard that running's a good one.
Hard to do in class, but yeah.
Sorry, miss, can I just go to the bathroom real quick?
Dad's doing laps.
Sprinting around the oval. David Goggins here.
Pass through.
Gets back in the class. Oh, shit. It's back up.
Bugger. Those are the good old days, yeah. So I reckon try flexing a quad, mate.
Best way to get rid of one is use it.
9 to 5 said on the podcast that I could use it in class. No, we didn't. Put it away, mate. Get your fucking head out of the gutter and keep reading Shakespeare or whatever.
Oh, God.
These people. You got to watch them.
Got a question from one of the biggest fans of the podcast, Tex Simpson, and he asked what our favourite drinking game is.
Yeah. It's a great... Well, firstly, I love your text. Thanks, mate. We really appreciate it.
When I'm out here drinking, I'm not here to play games. I'm in business, so I don't really get around these drinking games.
I love drinking games. Beer pong is by far my favourite. Nothing beats it.
One of the worst ones I've played is called Rage Cage.
I've heard of this.
Now, prior to this event, I had never vomited from alcohol consumption before. And this game is essentially what caused it. So you have to like put a ping pong ball into a cup kind of thing.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm not really good at ball sports that much. You know, I was pretty decent at soccer. And the thing is, the drinks that they put in these cups were like Smirnoff vodka, like lukewarm Smirnoff vodka, and flat lukewarm soda water. It's just not really that appetizing.
Doesn't do it for you.
And so I was at my ex-girlfriend's best friend's quiet little shindig, you know?
Right, you're passed out in the corner.
Meanwhile, I'm going, lager, drink, pint, lads.
That's so you.
And I get into this drinking game, get absolutely roped into it. And mate, I'm getting fucking pummeled. I'm having shot after shot of this disgusting concoction. And then I sit down, something hits me.
Yeah.
I'm not good, mate.
Might be the alcohol.
I'm munting for the next 16 hours. Next 16 hours. I'm not, no word of a lie. My girlfriend comes to see me later that day, and she's like, "You're still munting." I'm like, "Fuck, you're making me feel bad because if I can't control it." I just remember her sending me off in the Uber, completely disappointed in me.
Off.
No, well, she got the Uber to her house first, and then doesn't accompany back to mine. I remember getting out of the Uber.
That's shit house
munting on the nature strip.
Yeah, good. You held it.
Some guy walks past my street playing Playboy Cardi out of his phone, lean for real. Yeah. I just remember that was one of the coolest moments ever. It's like that's my favorite song too. When he's
thanks, brother.
Yeah, it was sick. I was like hands and knees munting into the. Not good.
Yeah, I reckon you've done that a couple of times where it's just a quiet night out and then next minute Gav's munting.
Yeah, it's happened twice this year.
Yeah, good man. You send it. I love that for you.
Yeah.
So Rage Cage for you. Oh no, that's not your favourite.
Yeah, I don't know. What is the favourite? I don't know. Beer pong's all right. Yeah, I'm quite good at it.
Yeah, I love beer pong.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Best way to balance drinking / partying and working out, and it is from. Oh, you read it out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. Well, I can't read out his name. What is it?
Matus Luludis, something like that.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, mate. So the main reason I put this in is because. I in particular talk about, beers on the weekend, having beers, especially through our platform 9 to 5 or through my own personal platform. And I just wanted to come on here and say, we work fucking hard during the week. There's not many people working as hard as us, which kind of allows for us to do that. So I'd say best way to balance it is if you're going to be drinking, you need to be working twice as hard, you know? So like I'm running a lot during the week, Gab's cycling a lot. We're obviously gymming pretty much every single day. I work on a farm now and then. And then on the weekend, we're 23 and we go out and have a good time. Yeah,
during the week, I will have my training and nutrition down to an absolute T and I'll hit every single number down to the gram or the kilogram.
Exactly.
To the rep. I think it's just lately, every weekend, I've kind of been going out and whatnot. It's
silly season though.
Silly season. It's good fun. Got to be done. Memories are made.
Yep.
Even like footy players and stuff, like professional athletes, a lot of them are kind of going out as well. So
yeah, and
they're working even harder than us
in
their respective sports. So I think it is important to have that balance.
Yeah, so don't get sidetracked by the thought, if we're putting up, having a couple of beers together and stuff, don't worry, we're doing the work outside of it. And I don't think anyone is worried, but I just wanted to reiterate that. And that's why we, or at least myself, thinks it's okay to go out and have a couple on the weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
So the next question is from a mother who listens to our podcast, and we really appreciate different kind of demographics sending questions in and actually consuming our content. And the question is, what's your suggestions for the under 18-year-old and the party and the parent trying to set realistic rules? It's in regards to drinking.
I suppose I'm not really a good example.
Well, I think you can be a great example because, what would you do as a parent? I mean, obviously we don't have any, parental experience.
I was probably parents' dream not having a first sip of alcohol till after year 12, but
that might be because of your parents.
No, they were encouraging me in my 18th to have a drink and stuff like that. They were encouraging oh, Gab, do you want a beer? Because I took myself so seriously. I was like, no, fuck off. Why would you even offer me that?
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, I reckon what seemed to work, it all depends on age, doesn't it? So for me, at least, I had very understanding parents who weren't did by no means encourage drinking alcohol, but were understanding when I was around 17 or something that it's probably better to be on my side and gain a bit of trust than against. And I remember friends and stuff or acquaintances that they were out drinking piss and a lot more than I was, but they couldn't tell their parents anything. And it just meant that when there was trouble, there's no chance they're ever going to contact their parents.
Yeah, I suppose actually that is one of the things I've always had with my parents is a very transparent relationship. I wouldn't ever be scared to tell them anything.
Yep.
Regardless with its party, festivals, relationships, things like that. And I think, that is one of the things I would advise for in a kind of a minor / parent relationship is just to have that honesty and transparency in it. Be a safe place where you can talk about anything.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, obviously, like setting realistic rules. If they're 14, then that's the rule is no.
Yeah.
Like it's not happening. But we're talking more kind of latter years, 17-ish, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, transparency and trust is number one for me.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that.
Yep. And then setting rules for the 18-year-old. Maybe come up with rules together.
Yeah.
Generally seems to work. If you can work through some rules together, okay, I'll go this far if you go this far kind of thing. But I'm not a parent.
I know a lot of the parents have like the Find My iPhone and things like that on. I don't know, controversial topic. But
pretty hectic if you ask me.
I know like a lot of girls and things like that will have it because it is a genuine safety concern. And I think it's very important in respects like that. But
yeah, girls, that's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
And it's another whole topic we could do a whole separate podcast on, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one because I feel like it's almost like a bit of a breach of trust. But
it is. I've still got it on. Me and my dad have Find My Friends.
Yeah,
and me and you have Find My Friends.
Yeah,
It's like a safety thing.
It's different, yeah. But that's it's more convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, where's
Gabby? Oh, he's at gym. Yeah,
Exactly. He's not bloody dead.
Yeah, exactly. I've had the funny one would be I've had probably like 5,000 people add me on Snapchat. What if I just put like my location on? Like every cunt rocking up.
They're all rocking. Hey,
hey,
what are you doing?
This is where he lives.
That's the way. What's our next one? From a female follower.
Yep. Kiara_Losty. Love you guys. What is your go-to hangover meal?
We love you too. Thank you very much for the question.
You know what mine is? I'm so guilty about the calories I consumed the night before. My hangover meal is chewing gum and water.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's some disordered type. Am I kidding though? Am I kidding?
Nah, you're grinding. What? So let's say calorie, like you're bulking. What's your go-to the next morning?
I fucking love a HSP.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, no, sorry. That would be my meal, like when you get home from the night out.
When you're pissed.
So is the hangover meal the morning?
Next morning, like you're hungover, you feel shit.
I don't reckon I eat much at all. Yeah.
I delete a zinger box with three strips.
Yeah.
Just so like happily, and I just sit there. And you know how they talk about like KFC has the worst, like enjoyment to regret ratio.
Yeah.
It's like
you
it's
enjoy
like
every
quick as
second?
mate. Even after I'm sitting there going, I want more. That was fantastic. And I'll have about 6 coffees and just make sure my anxiety is through the roof, and then I can function.
You know, I'm more about the meal after the night out than the morning after. You see, the other night we had Macca's. It was pretty good.
Yep.
You had your 24 chicken nuggets.
Oh, that's so easily.
I got a McChicken, which was okay. A large chips, the new onion rings, which were a hit. And I also had a Tim Tam McFlurry, which was pretty decent.
That was a fun night, actually.
It was a good night.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I do both, to be honest. Actually, while I'm on the cut, I don't.
Yeah.
While I'm on the cut, or like being somewhat conservative of calories. But when I'm in that big bulking phase, I'll go the both.
Yep, exactly right. Now, to finish off, we've got a question, an anonymous one, because we don't want to throw him under the bus. Or she, I don't know who it was from. Kind of sad I haven't gotten any invites for New Year's Eve. Any tips for what to do when you're feeling lonely?
It's a good question. Firstly, I'd say this year is like...
It's a funny one.
Everyone's going nuts. Like it's hard to find anything full stop.
Yeah.
You know, like it's hard to have any plans. Like we only figured out our plans a couple of days ago.
Mate, that is so true because I've know like quite a few different social groups and things like that, and none of them have been consistent. It's not like we got some big party we go and do here, everyone go.
Yep.
Whereas usually it is like that.
Yeah.
Whereas this year, like it's like, come on, can you fucking come up with something?
Well, everyone's just waiting for someone to pull a trigger.
Yeah.
So it's either you have to do it or, but that's hard to do if you're on your own, obviously. So
I think a lot of people would be in that boat though. Even I was wondering, like, what the fuck are we actually doing? Like, it's getting a bit close to New Year's Eve. Like, what are we doing?
Red time.
Yeah.
Red zone.
It's like, geez, I don't want to be making plans on the day.
Yep.
I think my parents were like, oh, we can go to a restaurant. And I'm like,
Tears,
jeez. Rock bottom here, lads. No, I'm kidding. That's no judgment if that's your go.
No, that'd be fun. It'd probably be better than BTC.
Yeah.
But I mean, tips for like when you're feeling lonely in general, I think...
You know what? I've been spending a lot of alone time lately through the breakup thing. And I think the goal is to not feel lonely while you're alone.
Yeah, it's good. It's deep. And what do you do to feel... Like, is that something... is that inner peace kind of thing? Or are we listening to podcasts?
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of time I spend with my own thoughts. And I think why am I afraid of being alone? Not like... I definitely was afraid of being alone at certain points, but I'm like deep down, we're getting really deep into this question now, but deep down, what am I afraid of? Like, is it because I don't have the external validation of another girl, like being with me and telling me how good I am or just giving me affection? Is it because I'm scared of, I want to be drinking alcohol with my friends to kind of blunt that loneliness feeling? Like, let's attack what the actual issue is in here. And I'm like, I kind of solved it with myself. So for me, it's like being with friends and everything is elite. But if you do have that alone time, don't be scared of it.
For sure. I think sometimes like going the other way. So let's say your friends or whatever are going out drinking, maybe go to the gym. Like you can sometimes feel better by doing that. And you can like really kind of get somewhere by doing that.
You know what my favorite combination is? Your friend says, all right, everyone at mine at 6 p.m. I'll get there 9, 10 p.m. because I'm going gym, I'm going sauna, I'm working on myself, and then I'm going to head, sink beers with the boys.
Yep.
And that might be a little bit dog on my behalf, but that is one of my favourite things to do.
I'll be inviting you over at 4 next time and tell everyone else to come at 8. And it'll work perfectly.
Exactly.
That's the plan. Well, hopefully we answered that question. I don't know. Do you have anything else on that topic?
I suppose, like it would be tough to spend New Year's Eve alone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and actually, just quickly, we were talking about this the other day, like Christmas-wise, like if you had a loss in Christmas, like a parents died or whatever around the Christmas time, or you're alone, that'd be so traumatic. It'd be really difficult. So maybe reaching out to people who are, in the same boat as you, or
for me, this was my first family Christmas without my grandfather, so it was a bit different on that perspective. I don't know. It's probably not as significant as someone losing a parent or something like that, but like I do, I don't know, the whole grieving thing is tough.
100%. But with the New Year's thing, maybe you can go to a pub or something. I'm sure you can meet
a best
people.
Mate, like for me, even just like messaging, you might think you're coming across as a bit of a simp, but it takes two to tango type thing. Don't expect them to message you. Like, strike up the conversation. Like, mate, do you want to do something? Like, I'm sure you've got friends out there, and a lot of people for me were like that I wouldn't even necessarily expect to be in their social groups. They were like, come with us. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. You can often just ask the question.
Yeah.
People are more the merrier generally.
Yeah,
with
literally.
New Year's Eve stuff. Good luck, mate. Good luck.
Awesome.
Final words.
Final words. Thanks so much for the support lately, guys. Stuff is epic. If you do want to support us even more, we do have a new power building program that should be dropping around the time this podcast is out. We've got these cool singlets that we're wearing. You can pick up our apparel. Anything from you, Louis?
Just get on that running program and expect a new athletic program very soon.
Awesome. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
Cheers, guys.